Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're moving right along with the 350Z build. Everything is prepped and ready to go. All the body work is done. Everything is primed, blocked, everything's scotch-brighted. This thing is ready to go. All we got to do is mask it off. Did my bumpers. They were a little rougher than expected, but check it out. We got them all nice and straightened out. Took a lot of body work, a lot of priming and blocking and all that, but they're good now. And check it out. I wanted to show you guys. I built a little structure here for us to set these bumpers on. These things are fastened on here. I got them screwed down. I mean, they're not going anywhere. And now I've got them set up exactly the same way the car is set up. So I can get in here. They're high off of the ground. I can get in here and spray them without blowing dirt up off the ground, things like that. Turned out pretty well. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing masked off, and then it'll be time to spray. Okay, so basically what I'm doing is I'm just going through here and just back taping all of this. You can see here the sticky side is facing out. My finger's actually sticking to that right now. So what this is going to do is when I drape my plastic over the top of this, the plastic will go right over this. It'll come down and it'll stick to my tape, and then I could just trim around it. We're going to be painting the entire Jamb all the way around this trunk, even up into here. All the way around. That way we get the blue color to come all the way around onto this and tie right into that over there. So it'll all be uniform. Everything will be one color. It'll be nice. I didn't want any tape lines. I could have came in and maybe broke my color like somewhere in here, something like that. But why not just do the whole thing? It'll look really nice. There'll be no tape lines when we're done. So I've got it completely masked off. I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna wipe this thing down thoroughly with my cleaners. I'll probably wipe this thing down 2 or 3 times before I'm done. It was pretty dirty. Just finishing up on my cleanup here. I've already gone through and wiped this thing down a couple of times. This will be my final wipe down, and then we can start hitting it with the tack cloth. Before I hit it with the tack cloth, that'll be the final wipe down. I'm gonna go ahead and mix up my sealer, have everything ready to go, and then we'll go in, we'll wipe everything with the tack cloth and start sealing. All right, so here's my sealer. We just got this down at the O'Reilly's. Just, you know, regular cheap stuff. This isn't high dollar or anything like this. Seems like this was around $25 a can. This is a quart here. I'm gonna shake it up pretty good. We'll also stir it with a stirring stick after we get it open. But the cool thing about this is you just pour it and shoot it. You don't thin it, you don't activate it or anything, so it'll go pretty quick. We'll put a good, nice, even coat over this entire car. That'll give us a nice uniform foundation to put our color on top of. Hey guys, we're gonna start getting a little safer around here. This stuff's no joke, man. You're messing with these chemicals. You really should not be out here spraying with exposed skin. I mean, I'm out here in shorts with cut-off shirts. It's stupid. It's not smart, and we're not gonna do that anymore. So we got us some little cheap paint suits. We're gonna put this on. My camera girl's even got one. So between that and rubber gloves and our respirator, we should be just fine now. All right, so I've been stirring this for a few minutes now. Stirred it till the clump is gone off the end. I don't feel anything on the bottom anymore, so I think it's good to go. Okay. All right, so we're gonna pour this into our mixing cup. Now, like I said, this is a straight pour. We're not mixing any kind of hardeners, activators, reducers, or anything. You might be asking, well, why are you pouring it into the cup? Why don't you just pour it straight into the thing? I guess I could do that. But we're going to go ahead and double strain this. I'm going to pour it into my cup first through a strainer, like so. Okay. Got our tack cloths here. We'll get these opened up. I may have explained this in a previous video. Best way to do these tack cloths, when you first open them, get them all unraveled. It'll take you a second because they're really sticky. Get them all unraveled. Once you're done, just roll it up into a little ball. Just like that, and just set it somewhere for a few minutes. Usually do that while you're mixing your paint or whatever, and then come back to it, and it helps get rid of some of the stickiness because they are pretty sticky. You don't want that stickiness to get on your panel. When you're running your tack cloth, you want to go kind of slow. You don't want to get crazy. I was always taught that when you get in here and you get going all fast, you're actually creating static electricity, especially if you're like working on plastic pieces. So you just want to kind of go slow. You don't want to be in here stirring up dirt and all that anyway. And it doesn't hurt to actually tack off your surrounding plastic. It's actually a pretty good habit. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Always flip your rag over and over again. Start from top to bottom, of course. Really easy. You want to continuously flip your tack cloth over. Just like that. Throughout this entire process, just keep turning that rag, panel by panel. Just flip your rag around. All right, so I've got a couple of spots of bare plastic here and there. It's very important that you use adhesive promoter on this because that is actually raw plastic there. If you try to paint over raw plastic, you're just begging for trouble. First time you go to the car wash, that stuff's gonna blow right off of there. Decided to go ahead and wet the floor down on this one. This car sits extremely low to the ground. I don't want to be blowing all that dirt all over everything. It's a good little trick, keep the dirt down. Oh, that's pretty. Look at that. I like that. You always want to make sure it's all nice and steered. I was shaking it a little bit off camera too, so it ought to be about good to go. All right, so this is a 1-to-1 mix. So basically it's just going to be half and half. Just like that. The other half will be reducer. All right, so we've got our base color mixed up, sealer's done. Let's lay our base color. All right, it's time for the clear coat. We've got our base coat laid down. Here's what we're using. The stuff we get from O'Reilly's. It ought to be good enough. This is a 4-to-1 mix. 4 parts of the clear coat, 1 part of the catalyst. We're gonna come to our 4-to-1 mixing ratio. 4 parts of the clear. Pretty easy. All right, let's make it shiny. Alrighty guys, so it's the next morning. Let this thing sit overnight and we'll come out and check it out, see what we're dealing with here. There she is. She is all one color again. Turned out pretty good, man. I mean, the clear coat laid down nice and smooth. It's got some dirt in it. We always expect there to be dirt. But that's okay though. We'll get all that dirt out, just like we did on the Harley truck. If you guys ain't seen that video, go check it out. That was a very dirty black paint job. Everybody knows black shows up everything. And yet, we got all that dirt out, turned it into a glass finish. This one will be even easier because it's a lighter color. It doesn't show as much as the black, and it looks like it's a little cleaner. Kind of surprising, but that's okay. I'll take it. You can see everything's blue again. We even sprayed all up inside of there. Over here where everything was welded together, it's all the same color again. So this is what you call pre-wreck condition. We got it back to the way it's supposed to be before the accident, and that's exactly what we wanted. So we accomplished our goal. You might notice that we're missing a few pieces. Well, I told you guys that this wasn't going to be solid blue this time. What we're trying to do is I think it's going to look pretty good. We're going to have a black hood to go with our black convertible top. The cover, I don't know exactly what you call this piece that goes here, but it's the cover that the top goes down into. That'll be black as well, and so will the trunk lid. So basically the whole top of this car will just be black. I think that's going to look pretty sweet. Kind of give it a little extra, you know. But let's get it all unwrapped. Let's get it outside, see what it looks like. I'm very excited to have this thing all one color again. This is really awesome. No more mismatched pieces. Pretty excited. It was a lot of work. We're not done yet. We still got a little ways to go, but the hard part is definitely behind us, and that's the best part of this. Anytime you're doing these big projects, man, when you get to that point where you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, start to get a little excited. So let's check it out. Let's see what we're dealing with in here. Now, I masked this off so that I could do everything all at once. I didn't want to have to edge. I didn't want to edge in my my Jamb. All right, see, a lot of times what you do is you'll come in and you'll paint this part first, let it sit, you know, maybe overnight or something so that it dries completely, and then you come back in and you mask that off, shut the door, and paint the outside, okay? But I figured this way it'd be a lot easier. This way we get it all done at once. So took a little creative masking, but we got it. Down here where we split our color, that's actually a seam there where the quarter panel lays on top of the inner structure. So that is that's the perfect spot to split your color. So that worked out perfectly. Let's get it unwrapped. Anytime you're pulling tape off of fresh clear, you got to be very careful, and there is a certain way to do it. First of all, slow. I mean, that's number one. You want to go slow, but you want to kind of pull down like flat as you can. Don't go up like this. Pull down like this and kind of pull away from the tape line, and look how nice that's turning out. Nice, perfect little tape edge. Some guys like to come in and do this before it's even dry, and man, I don't know. I personally don't do that. I like to let it set up because I don't want to be messing with this stuff while it's still sticky. To me, you're just asking for trouble. But I mean, I understand why they do it. They're afraid that the clear coat is going to, what they call, bridge itself onto the tape, and then when they pull the tape, they're going to pull the clear at the same time. I've never had trouble with that. I've never had that be an issue. Personally, I mean, I know it can happen, but I've never had any bad luck with just waiting, come out the very next day, pulling the tape off. It seems to work fine. As long as you're careful, it should be fine. All right, I just want to show you guys how I went about taping up this jamb here. These jambs could be a little tricky. That's why I went ahead and just sprayed the whole thing on the other side. But over on this side, we actually did mask it off. And this is the way we go about doing it. You can see here, I folded my tape back on itself to create that soft edge that we're always talking about. And look at there, when you peel that off, there's nothing, there's no edge whatsoever. Nice and smooth. The paint was able to go in there and cover up everything that needed to be covered. They sell special tape for that. It's the round foam tape. It's kind of pricey. I don't usually buy it, and I don't care for it so much because it tends to unstick. It's not sticky enough in my opinion. This tape, it goes on, it stays in place. I don't have a problem with it. Sometimes when you shut the door on that foam tape, it'll kind of roll itself back further than where you actually wanted it to be. When you fold the tape back on itself, it stays put exactly where you want it, and results don't lie. I mean, check that out. That is a nice, perfect little blend. I mean, no edge at all, perfectly smooth. The paint went in exactly the way it was supposed to. Awesome deal. And of course, as always, we tape up inside of the jambs, up inside of there, to keep all that overspray. I mean, look, can you see the overspray on that tape? That would be inside your jamb. You could kind of see where the last guy that painted it, he got a little overspray up in there already, so we wasn't gonna add to it and make it even worse. So there you have it, everybody. The Z car is just about painted up. We got a little bit left to do on the hood and the deck lid. Like we said, we're gonna do that all black. All of our hard work is starting to come together now. Things are really starting to take shape. I'm very proud of how far we've gotten this car to come so far. And it's just gonna get better from here. We are gonna go ahead and cut this video off here. It's getting really long, you guys. So please tune in for the next one. It's going to be coming real quick. We're going to keep this moving right along. Probably just one more part and then that's it. It's done. It's out of here. Please like and subscribe. Share the video with your friends. Hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. Don't forget my Instagram. There'll be a link in the description. And we're going to get out of here for now. But stay tuned. We're going to get another video up real quick on this one, so don't even worry. See you guys later.